Ladies and gentlemen, come gather round, come gather round, come gather around. Nothing lasts forever like the cold November rain or the chuck on this cordless drill. Thankfully, these are relatively easy to change. Let's go! While my local tool store sells replacement chucks for Milwaukee drills, not this Milwaukee drill, but they do sell a replacement chuck made by Jacobs. Jacobs invented chucks, and so I got one of these. They're relatively cheap, certainly cheaper than buying another drill. Now, these are threaded on with normal threads. I think you call them right-hand threads. And so they thread on here just fine. However, they're also held down by a screw, which is reverse thread or left-hand threads. So you got to remove that. If you feast your little eyeball inside here, you can probably see there's a screw, a Phillips screw inside this. That Phillips screw is reverse thread, left-hand thread. So you got to get that undone. A couple different ways you can go about this. First, it's going to be tight. Second, it's also got thread locker on it, so you might be able to do it with one of these little beasties, but you may have to up your ante a little bit. For you guys who've turned your Phillips screws into conical screws because you can't get them undone properly, you need one of these. Doesn't matter what brand this is, it's an impact driver. Get the cheapest one you can find. They're all good. The cool thing with this is you set this into the Phillips screw, they get different bits in there, put that where you need it to go, you hit this with a hammer. When I hit this with a hammer, if I load it in the direction I want it to come off, I hit it, this thing kind of turns. The force goes and turns this to crack it loose while driving the bit into the screwdriver. This is one of the 7 wonders of the universe. To get this one off, because it's reverse cut, I can turn this in the other direction and it preloads it this way, and when I hit it, it tries to turn this in the opposite or forward. It turns to turn it in the tightening direction, which is the loosening direction, and it works. I don't know if you can see this here. I might have to zoom in. If you can see this, I'll keep my finger right here and you can see the numbers. If I push down on this really hard, you can see it drives in that direction with your hammer force. And you get to use a hammer, so how cool is that? I can preload it the other way, and then this would be typical. And I bring this to the junkyard when I'm getting parts, because boom, it takes things apart nicely. I don't know, some of you are like, where did you get this one? I need the part number of this one. Who cares? Find the cheapest one at the store near you. It doesn't matter. Moving on. So I picked the size that fits the Phillips, put it in there, preload it in the tightening position, which will be the loosening position, get my friendly neighborhood persuader and whale on this. I'm a little nervous about that being damaged by hitting the force on here, so you could clamp the chuck in a vise. You're replacing the chuck. Who cares if you damage it more? Maybe you don't have one of these, but you do have a Phillips end or maybe a Phillips bit or something. Put that in a vise, stick the Phillips end in there, and then I can reef on this in the direction I need to go to get it off. And that removes it. Then I can do it the rest of the way with a regular screwdriver. The screw looks like this. It looks stainless. It's also got a little bit of blue on there, which is Loctite. We're going to put some Loctite back on. You can get replacement screws. If you don't screw the screw, you don't need to get a new screw. You might be able to reef this off by hand. You could also put it in here. And again, rotate this in the direction to remove it. Oh, there we go. Or you could put a wrench in there, or whatever you think is going to work for you. New chuck is very similar. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. But it's got in this case, it's a 1/2 inch fine thread, normal thread. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to do that pretty easily. Screwdriver bit in there again, and I'm just going to snug this up with a wrench. There's probably a torque for it, but I'm probably going to be okay. And I've got a little bit of Loctite. This is 243. I don't remember if it's red or blue, but we're going to find out. Red needs heat, and you don't want that one. It appears to be blue. Whoa, little drop will do you, man. You want to kind of squishy this up to get it all working. So that's all right. We set that in there. Screwdriver, opposite direction. I'm just going to go pretty freaking tight with a screwdriver. And there it is. And there you have it. Old and busted, new hotness. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you again.